You're watching Experience TV.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us today with our Entrepreneur Pitfalls. And today we are doing Entrepreneur Pitfall number 20, and it is one monkey can absolutely sabotage your show. So one of the things I wanted to call out is going to be what happens when people are sabotaging whatever your project is or whatever your organizational goals are. And sometimes there are certain things that we have to look at. So what are the problems that we face when we feel like we have someone that is sabotaging our show? So the very first thing is that you may have some bad clients or you may have some bad partnerships. You may have people who are in your camp that appear to be on your side, but they may not necessarily be, and they're tarnishing your reputation, or they are doing something that is negatively impacting your brand, like maybe they're attaching themselves to your brand, or maybe they are misrepresenting your brand. And that can definitely sabotage whatever your project is. Another one of the items is, one of the problems may be that you do not have constructive or proactive people on your team. So you have team members that are there, but they're not proactively helping with brainstorming, or they're not proactively helping with moving your agendas forward. Instead, what they're doing is they're sitting by, they're waiting for you to take the lead all the time, or they're sitting by watching what it is that you're doing, or some people literally are not giving you their full support because they're waiting for you to be successful first, and you want to be careful of that. So how do you identify those things? So the very first thing I want to start with is telling you, when you are in a bad relationship with a client or a bad partnership, the very first thing that you want to do is you want to ask yourself some very simple questions. So ask yourself, am I having difficult exchanges with this person? Is it hard to have a conversation? Are they understanding me? Am I understanding them? The next thing is does it take a long time for that person to get back with you when you guys are having some type of exchange of information? Are they taking longer than normal to get back with you? Do they have an attitude when you're exchanging information? Are they always combative with you whenever you guys are trying to navigate through a situation or a problem, or even trying to put together a concept? The next thing is, do your clients or your partners do you guys sit down and make an agreement for one thing, and then the next time you talk about it, they've changed it completely and said that they asked for something different? You need to be able to recognize those items. Also, the next thing is, look for triggers, look for hidden agendas. We talked about that in, I believe, our very first Entrepreneur Pitfall number 1 was hidden agendas. You've got to be on the lookout for clients as well as partners' hidden agendas. They won't be as obvious because the key word is hidden, but be aware. Take a look at everything that they're doing, and just be cognizant of what they're saying, what they're doing, and how they behave. And then the next thing is something that I've mentioned before, and this comes from my dad. I loved my dad's sayings, or the things that he gave me to maneuver through life, but he would always tell me, when you're talking with people, listen for what they're not saying in the conversation, because whatever they're not saying is what you really need to know. So there are going to be things that people won't come right out and tell you. People won't come out and say, I admire you and I like the things that you're doing and I'd like to use that in my format as well, but instead they'll just take your format and use it for their own gain. The same thing with being proactive. A lot of times people have no idea how to be proactive or how to be innovative, so instead they look for your cue to be able to do that. So now that you have learned how to identify the problem, what should you do next? So what are some solutions for when you're in a situation where you have one monkey or several monkeys sabotaging your show? The very first thing that you have to do is you have to know what you need to be better, to make your business better, to make your organization better, to make your product better. You have to know that. So you must be consistently doing some self-analyzation. When you are doing that analyzing, you want to think about how to craft your team. Go out and actively seek and employ people who have positive energy, people who are proactive, people who want to help you with pushing your agenda forward, people that you can be transparent with, that aren't afraid to be vulnerable, that will talk to you and say, I see your vision and I'd love to help you with your vision, and this is mine and we can help each other. You want to partner with clients in that way, and you want to partner with business partners and associates and collaborations in that way as well. The next step is going to be, when you are doing that analyzing, you have got to identify and get rid of bad apples or people with bad energy, and you have to do that immediately. Do not let that fester. I can tell you from experience that I've always been that person that gives people the benefit of the doubt, and the truth of the matter is, the longer you keep them around, the more damage you are doing to your project or your organization or your business. You have got to seek those people out, and you have to have that uncomfortable conversation with them and say, hey, you know, we're not going in the way that I thought we would go. Maybe we're not a fit, or this is not working for the team. I need to include someone that's going to be a better fit. And that's okay for you to say that, because remember, it's your business, it's your vision, and you're responsible for anything that's positive or negative that impacts it. So the next thing is, once you've identified those bad apples, you have got to have some replacements ready. You have to have some people that you already have identified that may be able to move into that spot immediately, and they have a low time for ramp up. So you want to have a series of people that you've identified that may be able to help you with your business or your organization or your project, and they need to be professionals, and they need to have the type of attitude that you need to get your business moving forward. So just remember, a lot of times people will tell you that one monkey doesn't stop a show, but it's very possible for them to sabotage your show. So you want to keep in mind that it can slow you down. But what you want to do is you want to try to minimize the liability or minimize the damage. And the way that you do that is think to yourself, do I have any monkeys right now that are impacting my project negatively? And then you need to identify them and identify what you can do to fix it. And then you need to remove that from your organization so that you can move forward and be successful. So that is today's Pitfall number 20. I wanted to give a special shout out to my best friend, Natalia Bull Fuller. She's the owner of Adornments Boutique, and it is her birthday today, and I absolutely love her. So shout out from Houston to Atlanta. I love you. Until next time, bye.